So, everyone, welcome back to me trying to make videos. Yesterday we were about to start the self-hit detection section. Alright, so let's start with just the recording part of this. If they decide to scream less, okay, that seems like it's gonna be a while. I guess I'll just work on the next part of the script. The font is wrong? Hiding files. So I could navigate this work in progress videos, character creator, which I really should have renamed something. These two are wrong. Once more. I need to go with this one. And this one. Yes. There you go. If I can't do that, I'll run everything through. I'll do the asset store library. But it's dependent on if the screaming stops for my niece and nephew. Yeah, they're very good. It's supposed to be one font. Alright, and then so you don't navigate some places to be done. At some point I should delete a bunch of things. Not mean to add those in. Okay, seems like this game is stopped. Okay, alright. So what actually happened? Let's start by checking what we built. We made an attack with both a hitbox and a hurtbox. When the frame was enabled, the hitbox detected that same hurtbox. But since they're on the same player, we need to have self-hit prevention. Since they're on the same player, we need to have self-hit prevention. Let's go to our damage function in hitbox and add proper detection now. First, we only care if the thing is a hurtbox. Then, let's add our player to the exceptions. We can check if the thing we are trying to hit is in the exceptions. If it's not in the hit exceptions, we add it. Next, we can check if the attack is blocked, which is not covered in this video, and do things based on that. Lastly, we tell the attack manager we hit something, pass it important information to the has hit signal. Lastly, we tell the attack manager we hit something, passing important information using the has hit signal. We also call some functions on the player we hit, but that's not covered here, so it's commented out. We also call some functions on the player we hit, but none of those functions have been defined, and those aren't covered here, so it's been commented out for now. And to prevent an error, I define the block check as just returning false. Okay. That's the first section. I think the audio looks fine. Did I? Oh, I see. The audio is a different device. Right. Are you serious? Okay, now I have to re-record all of that. Possibly. Isn't that you? No, I still have to re-record it. Are these fixed? Yes. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Well, let's try that again. So what actually happened? Let's start by checking what we built. We made an attack with both a hitbox and a hurtbox. Then, when we enabled the frame, the hitbox detected that same hurtbox. But since they're on the same player, we need to have self-hit protection. Let's go to our damage function in hitbox and add proper detection. First, we only care to do anything if there's a hurtbox. First, we check if it's... When damage is called, we check if it's a hurtbox. Then, we can add our player hit exception. What's this sound issue? Audio is wrong. Aiden seems to be buggy. I should update this. Yes, I am now. Okay. So what actually happened? Let's start by checking what we built. We made an attack with both a hitbox and a hurtbox. Then, when we activated the frame, then when we enabled the frame, the hitbox detected that same hurtbox, but since they're on the same player, we need to prevent that. Let's go to our damage function in hitbox and add proper detection. First, we only care to do anything if it's a hurtbox. Then, let's add our player to the hit exceptions. Next, we check if the thing we are trying to hit is in the hit exceptions. If not, we add it to it. Next, we can check if the attack is blocked, which is not covered in this video, and do some things based on that. Lastly, we tell the attack manager we hit something, passing important information using the as hit signal. We also call some functions on the player we hit, but that's also not covered here, so it's commented out. And to prevent the error, I just defined a block check that returns false. It's not that it's not covered here, it's that we don't have any defined functions. Mhm. We also would. We also would. But we haven't defined any of those, so they're commented out. Mhm. We also would call some functions on the player we hit, but we haven't defined any of those functions, so they are commented out. Fits in. Okay. Great, wonderful. Group, move up. Might want an image for the. This isn't grouped. Okay. I feel like I should have an image here or something. Or just reuse the one from before. Okay. I scrolled. Mm-hmm. There. It's over. Okay. Some gaps are a bit big, but it's fine. This gap is massive. Okay, that's very good. Mhm. Yes. Mhm. The next thing after that is okay. The attack, moving to the attack manager. Okay. Okay. Mhm. You can now move to the attack manager. We can now move to the attack manager because the signal still needs to be connected. First, define the function we want to connect the signal to. This one just re-emits itself, and print the name of the player it hit. Then in the ready function, we need to reach down several layers until we reach the hit/hurt box layer. Then if it's a hitbox and the signal has not been common, then in the ready function, we need to reach down several layers until we reach the hitbox/hurt box layer. Then if it's a hitbox and the signal has not been connected, connect that signal. Next, if it's a hurt box, assign the player so that the hit prevention can work. Okay. Yeah, it's commented, but it's connected. Mm-hmm. This this one just re-emits itself and prints the name of the thing it hit. Okay. 5 to 3. Oh, that moved everything as well. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Let's just do it that way. Okay, reduce the gap. Okay. We reach down several layers. This one's a little separate. These two, edit duration, ripple edit, 2 seconds each. This should be 1 second each. The duration 110. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay. 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 Let's test again. Okay. The scene made and to look like this. So your scene to make it look like this. Make sure to add the target and set the hurt box of that target to the make sure to select the hurt box of the target and set the export to the value of the target. Yep. Everything else is handled automatically. Let's test again, update the scene. Let's test again. Update the previous scene. Update the previous scene you made to look like this. Make sure to select the hurt box of the target and set the export to the value of target. The assignment of everything else is handled by the code we made. Okay. I'll wait. Wait 5 seconds. One, two, pause. Mhm. Alright, let's test again. Update the previous scene you made to look like this. Make sure to select the hurt box of the target and set the export to the value of the target. The assignment of everything else is handled by the code we made. I'll wait 5 seconds to pause. I'll wait 5 seconds for you to pause. Wait, let me just... That was almost perfect. I think I would adjust it a little bit more. Okay. Okay. Alright, and then the next thing would be like the quiz. Alright. What when you attack is the expected outcome? When you attack, what is the expected output? I should check the godot code because my brain actually does care about the multi-hit stuff. Multi-hit, like, it could be done, but I just am concerned about that. Right, this and the PowerPoint's supposed to be here. Right. Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's really just the quiz and that. So I'll do the quiz right now since it's not hard, and then if I need to think about anything else, I'll add some stuff, I guess. Seven minutes. Okay, we're getting close. Still can't make any money off of this and buy a ruler or a drawing pad or anything to help me with game development or pay my tuition or donate anything. I wish I had more money. Buy it, but it's fine. I'll survive. Mm, okay. Mm-hmm. Mm, I think for not that part. For this part here, where we do this, I should show like what we can do with that. Mm, I could have a visual for it, so let me do it in a slide. Uh, I grab this. This is all grouped. It's not grouped? Okay. So just give me the images. Okay. Is there anything else I could say for this? Mm, I need text boxes. That's what I need. Mm, do I need any like editor interface? Maybe. Mm, Tag free video. Click on frame. Um, where is the power? Okay. Mhm. Alright. Let's see. Do I say anything here like else that's new? I don't know. Okay. Alright. Alright. So when you run the scene and press your attack button, what is your output? Both names in the player, only the target, or as um, um, like so what? In my current system, why can't I just do an attack repeatedly? Same frame and just continuously. It has been open so long, it's broke a little. It's fine. It's fine. I also have it set to hold. No, that's holding it. Even with 4 frames. Okay. But it is also just... No, there it is. There's a hold that just always... Uh, was that when I removed the code? For this section. It flashes a little bit. Because it's off for 1 frame. Okay. With the code, it allows you to cancel. Um, I never made a test detector, did I? I don't think I did. Um, so with the code, it allows you to cancel it into itself at any point in time. Okay. Is start attack? No, I need to do something with start attack. I need to actually explain why we add these lines, other than just cancel system for the next video, but also for this video. Might add some code actually to physics process. Case cancels and doesn't have enough start conditions. Start attack needs to get ready in case cancels and doesn't have enough start conditions. It's this only making one attack, and it doesn't need to be like auto-fired every frame. If you're only making one attack, you would be fine with just this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. I could say remember that this should have like different conditions. If I what about cancel? Should I say cancels? In the next video, I will focus on cancels and maybe multi-hits. I don't actually know what the proper thing to say is. Mm, uh, prevent unwanted behavior. Um, to prevent unwanted behavior, we can talk needs attack resetting. Um, To prevent unwanted behavior, start attack moves. Attack resetting in case you have more than one attack. Um, start attack moves. To prevent unwanted behavior, start attack moves. Resetting and maybe some other conditions. That's just like, is that right though? Is that enough? I think that justifies it, and I would have to edit this a little bit. Mm. What's an example of someone using the same attack multiple times in a row? Mhm. It doesn't like, maybe I should just put it at the beginning of the video. Okay, when we start an attack, we want to, if we're already attacking with something, we might want to reset it, and reset attack. Mm. Mm. Let's just say it's perfect. Cancel system. It's the easiest one to go ahead with. And maybe that too. I'll rate it up. Mm. Mm. We are expecting only the target to be target name to be printed. Printed if anything 50 player was printed. Go back and try to find our error in the changes we made. Then after that, put a bit of space actually. Um, mm, mm. The frame one seems like it'd be easier to write, but the start attack is the one I know. Okay. Mm. Let's do a final check. Addition to our code in start attack. In preparation for the next 4 attack cancels. Final addition to a code in preparation for attack cancels. For attack cancels, so that if our input system allows starting an attack while we are attacking already, does attack manager actually have any additional code for cancels? Because I made some edits and I don't think it might. I don't think it does. I replaced this line with reset current attack, I believe. this. Wait, that's the wrong spot. It should be here, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, this optimization has been made now. Okay. Mm-hmm. If our input system allows starting an attack while we are already attacking, let's do a final addition to our code and start an attack. If our input system allows attack canceling, whoa, it's not. If our input system allows attack canceling, start an attack while we are already attacking. We need to reset current attack and just in case, the new attack as well. That one works for explaining. Mm-hmm. 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 Did I cover attack cancels in the input system video? A program of any game input system. 14% of the video has been watched. Go to YouTube, watch it myself. Mm-hmm. That's the sequence reader. Yeah, somewhere here. Do we get a tag canceling in here? No. God damn it. There is no attack canceling. Okay, isn't it handled by my input system? Yeah, okay. So, mm-hmm. Yeah. Alright. Hmm. Okay, so we can call this for that video. I'm planning to. My brain's planning for the next video, even though I'm not done this one yet, because it's a bit important. But I would take this function, basically as is, and then do this part here. Okay. Uh, so if in addition to our input system allows attack canceling, we need to reset current attack and just decase the new attack as well. Okay. I need to finish this damn video. Why am I taking so long to finish a video that I have been working on for so long? Okay. Tab, mm, since we are a programmer, mm, wait, okay. Let's add two more things. Mm, one, a way to work with less frame nodes. Um, I don't know. My brain is getting tired still. Mm-hmm.
So I just do the. Mm-hmm. That's fine. I agree. That's because of these. Okay. Where's Caitlin? 37 minutes ago. 37 minutes of just thinking. The heck is wrong with me? I also move this to like actually before that. Okay. Right. When you're in your scene and press the attack button, what is your output? Both names, only one, only the player name, or there it is. When you run the scene and press your attack button, what's your output? You get both names, only the player name, only the target's name, or some errors. What I'm expecting is only the target's name to be printed. If the player was printed, go back and try to find the error in your changes we made. We're only expecting the target's name to be printed, as we just tried implementing a hit prevention system. As we just tried implementing a self-hit prevention system. So go back and check your code for any errors. I should write the script better. My gosh. Okay. What is your output? Both names. Player only. The target only. Or errors. Expecting only the target's name to be printed. As we just tried making a self-hit prevention system. So make sure to double check your scene tree and your code. Yeah. All right. When you run your scene and press your attack button, what is your output? Both names, the player name only, the target's name only, or some errors. I'm expecting only the target's name to be printed, as we just tried making a self-hit prevention system. So make sure to double check your code and your scene tree. Did I do reveal bit by bit for the quiz just before? Yeah, I did. I forgot to do that. Whoopsie daisy. Add an effect. Slideshow from current slide. Okay, what? Why is it just blue? I didn't even try to. Why did it move that? Still also need to record, like, going through some of my other systems. Or some of my more advanced parts of the system. Mhm. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Alright. Okay. I need to stop thinking about the things later right now because it's just not great. I'm cold. Okay. Just a few more things to add. Let's take a look at our attacks. Currently, we have a frame that only represents one frame. Um, things to add. Just a few more things to add. There's a few more things to add. Now our frames are exactly one frame per node, which could be a problem. Which can get messy. So let's fix that. Um, yeah. Let's fix that. Um, fix that by going to frame and adding to the ready function the number of times we want to repeat this frame. Okay. That's true. Okay. Let's take. Yeah. What this does is basically allow us to take to oops. What this does is basically allows us to to do is what this basically allows us to do is reduce how many frames we need. Here's an example. In the attack I showed earlier, in the attack I showed earlier, that period. In the attack I showed earlier, I showed 8 individual frames, but we can repeat some that are I showed 8 frames, 2 which are startup, 1 active, and 5 recovery. I showed in the attack I showed earlier, I showed 8 frames, 2 of which are startup, 1 active, and 5 recovery. 2 startup, 1 active, and 5 recovery frames. Right. But if we repeat recovery frames, if we repeat frames, we can represent the same or similar with just 3 nodes rather than represent we can represent it with 3 nodes frames. If we repeat frames, we can represent it with 3 frame nodes. Here an example. What this basically allows us to do is reduce the number of frames we need. Here's an example. In the attack I showed earlier, I showed 8 frames, 2 startup frames, 1 recovery, 2 startup, 1 active, 5 recovery frames. But if we repeat frames, we can represent it with just 3 frame nodes. frame nodes. If we repeat frames, we can represent it with just 3 frame nodes, which if you don't have much art yet, but need to test concept helps. Lastly, yeah, and the final thing. The final thing, let's do an addition to our code and start attack to allow attack canceling if our system input system allows it attack one. We need to reset the current attack, and just in case, reset the new attack as well, making sure not a 1,000 no error. Just a few more things to add. Our frames are exactly 1 frame per node, which is a lot per node. Right now our frames are 1 frame per node, which is too many. Right now our frames are exactly 1 frame per node, which is too many. By going to frame yeah. In the attack I showed, which is too many, in the attack I showed earlier, I showed 8 frames, 2 startup, 1 active, and 5 recovery frames. But if we repeat frames, we can represent it with just 3 frames. It's just 3 instead. How many frames we need? Which if you don't have a bunch of reduce how many frames we need by just setting the number of times you want it to repeat. I'll go with that. Record. Just a few more things I'd like to add. Right now, our frames are exactly 1 frame per node, which is too many. In the attack I showed earlier, I showed 8 frames, 2 startup, 1 active, and 5 recovery frames. But if we repeat frames, we can represent it with just 3 instead. By going to frame, if we go to our frame script and if we go to the ready function in our frame script and add this part is garbage. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's go to the ready function in our frame script and add frames for the number of times we want to repeat this frame. In our frame script and add frames. Let's go to the ready function in our frame script and add frames for the number of times we want to repeat this frame. Let's go to our ready function. Let's go to our ready function in frame. Let's go to the ready function in our frames script and add frames for the number of times we want to repeat this frame. What this basically allows us to do is reduce how many frames we need by just setting the number of times we want to repeat this frame. All that just to get this much. And add instead. Okay. Great, wonderful. Then last part. Okay. And the final thing I want to add to our code, is in start attack to allow for attack canceling in case our input systems allows attack cancels. We just need to reset the current attack and just in case, reset the new attack as well. Let me rewrite it. The final thing to add to our code in start attack is to allow for attack canceling in case our input system allows that. We just need to reset the current attack and the new attack before we start the attack. The current attack and the new attack before we start. The final thing I want to add to our code is in start attack. The final thing I want to add to our code in start attack is to allow for attack canceling in case our input system allows that. We need to reset the current attack and the new attack before we start an attack. To do this, we need to reset the current attack and the new attack before we start the attack. To do this, we need to reset the current and new attack before we start attacking. I think that's better. The last one is better. That's fine. Okay. Right. The rest of attack canceling is set up. Okay, and the rest of attack system, and the rest of the canceling system is done by the input system. I don't have an actual interest though. Also need to adjust the spacing of everything, because it's like there's maybe a minute or if the time is just not spaced properly. Images! Right. Okay. This isn't really the thing I want to say. Okay. Um, Wait a second, these are all in the wrong spot. Can I control X them? No. Maybe. I was really able to drag these, but I can't put these in the right spot unless I can. How do I tag these? Tag them. Red. Folder red. Do I clear it to fill the tag? Thank you. Okay. Now that thing is actually in the proper space. That was proper. Images. Just need to add the images that I may have supposedly added. Which I didn't, because I didn't add them in this spot yet. Okay. Okay. Can I shift group and place that there? Okay. Let's start with a spacing fix. Oh. Okay, so I repeated it. I heard an audio issue, or it just repeated itself because it decided to. Cool. Note, noise suppressor is already handled by the actual layer. Okay. Alright. Oh my goodness. I think that's that's pretty much the video. Okay. That would mean just the outro, and I can work on the just the video outro. Right. I need to make a video correction, man. I need to make that video correction. Oh my goodness. So I'll probably redo it in like this style because I like this style a bit more. I am getting tired. I need to sleep better. Jeez. I also need an intro. Great. Write those down on a sticky note. Sticky note. Well, in the screen here, the note has been written, and is there anything else like I could do right away? Yeah. Oh, there is some types of cancels that are like automatic. Mm, um, uh, to allow for basic attack canceling. Transaction ended the audio. Where's the line? Basic. basic. Listen if you're causing audio issues. Why is the audio just so bad? To allow for basic attack canceling. The audio is just so different. The last thing I want to add in start attack is to allow for basic attack canceling. Emphasize the word basic. Yeah, I can't record this. God damn it. Okay. I can't record it. It's too much child screaming. Um, I'll add it as a note then instead and stream. Intro, outro, and verify its basic canceling. Those for more specific attack canceling, like how it's done in fighting games, the cancel system actually needs things in both the attack and the input system. I think it's mostly just most of it is handled by the attack, but the input system is like allowing it. Okay, so I'll have to end the stream there. See you tomorrow. Apparently, the OBS shortcut thing was close.